Hey, Karlyn, I know it sounds like a simple question, but how do I get to the Grand Canyon?
Well, Stephen, there's five major gateways to get to the Grand Canyon. Let's go take a look at them.
Okie dokie. So it looks like there are multiple routes to be able to get to where we need to go to. Why don't you take it away?
Well, you can come from Vegas, come from Phoenix, Albuquerque, Denver, or Salt Lake, but all roads lead to the Grand Canyon.
Fantastic. Let's go. And we're at Las Vegas. It's the Sin City, baby. We've got Elvis down below. Why don't you take it away?
All right, Viva Las Vegas. Well, now you will see why people come to Grand Canyon West from Las Vegas. It's just 2.5 hours away, it's the closest. However, the most visited rim is here at the South Rim, and it's 4.5 hours away. Also, the North Rim is 4.5 hours away, and Grand Canyon East. So, Grand Canyon West, 2.5 hours. The other three rims are 4.5 hours from Las Vegas, baby. Oops.
And we're at Phoenix, Arizona. I have no idea what the cactus is. Why don't you give us a steer?
Well, welcome to Phoenix. What we tell you in Arizona is it's a dry heat, even though we'll hit those 115-degree temperatures. But the great thing about Phoenix is the South Rim is only 3.5 hours away. And the big bonus you get coming into Phoenix is you can go through Sedona, Arizona. It's gorgeous. Highly recommend it. Now, you can also come up here to the North Rim. It's the furthest away from Phoenix at 6 hours. But the great thing is Grand Canyon East up there to Antelope and Horseshoe Bend is at 4.5 hours. And so is Grand Canyon West, where the Skywalk is. It's at 4.5 hours. So that's the advantage of coming into Phoenix. It is the closest to the South Rim.
And we're in Albuquerque. I have no idea what those ruins are, but I'm sure you're going to enlighten us. Over to you.
Well, the beautiful thing about New Mexico is they have all of these pueblos. And my favorite happens to be Acoma. I visited it and quite enjoyed it. But from Albuquerque, it's quite a distance from the Grand Canyon. The fortunate thing is you can take I-40, which will get you to the South Rim the quickest. And you can also get to Grand Canyon East. Those are both close, the North Rim and Grand Canyon West. But just be aware it's going to be anywhere from 6 to 8 hours if you're coming from Albuquerque.
Okay, let's go to the next place, which is Denver, Colorado. So again, I have no idea what Denver and the mountains are, but I'm learning lots.
All right. Well, Denver's even farther away, but it's Colorado, Rocky Mountain High. You're coming through the mountains if you're coming from Colorado. Again, it's going to be quite a distance. You're in the 11 to 13 hours to get to Grand Canyon East, the North South Rim, and Grand Canyon West. So just recognize that Denver is a great gateway, but you'll be coming through the Colorado Rockies on your way to the Grand Canyon.
This is a great geographic lesson. What can I say, Carlin? Okay, last one. We're at Salt Lake City.
Well, Salt Lake City, you're coming from the north. The advantage of Salt Lake City, after you get done with Temple Square up in Salt Lake, is you can come down to the North Rim and Grand Canyon East. They're the closest. They're just 6 to 6.5 hours away. But unfortunately, that puts Grand Canyon West and the South Rim in that 8 hour time period. So it's quite a distance to come from Salt Lake as well. But this is the fifth major gateway of how people get to the Grand Canyon.
Okay, and this is a great slide for me because obviously, from someone who doesn't come, I don't know, maybe the US as well as you do, in particular the canyon. Okay, is what do I get to see after I travel all of those distances? And there's a lot to see.
There sure is, and you're already on the Skywalk. So the South Rim is the most visited. Most people will go to Grand Canyon East area when they do the South Rim. And of course, Grand Canyon West is closest to Vegas, baby. And that's where many people will visit if they come into Vegas. And then, of course, the North Rim. Again, North Rim's only open from May 15 to October 15. But these are the four rims or the four areas that you can visit when you come to visit us at the Grand Canyon from these five major gateways.
One of the pop quiz questions you told me, Stephen. How many rims are there? There are two. The others, they pretend to be rims, but they're not actually rims. So hey, thanks very much for making sure that I've got that burnt into my head. Okay. So I think you were telling me is about choosing the right gateway city.
It absolutely is. You're going to find that Las Vegas generally has the lowest costs. Phoenix is almost always second. and Phoenix is closer to the Grand Canyon South Rim, which is where most people visit. But Vegas is closest to Grand Canyon West. And of course, you can mix a little gambling in there, a little Viva Las Vegas. But you've also got Albuquerque, Denver, and Salt Lake. Many people will come into those, and partly it has to do with the international flights. It has to do with its proximity to where you live. And it may have to do with just how your affinity points work with the airline that you're working with. So it just depends on where these hubs are, also what you want to see and combine with your Grand Canyon vacation. But remember, choose the gateway city that works best for you when you're trying to fit it all in and make sure you come to the Grand Canyon.
And have change for the cashier and the actual table at Las Vegas if you can fit it in. All right, let's go back over to the campfire. So, had a great session with you today. I learned a lot of things. In particular, somebody who doesn't really understand or have a great understanding of geographically where everything is, the distance. I mean, I didn't realize that there's such a great big distance, especially from someone who's coming in from the UK. Those are some chunky times to be driving in. And also how that all relates to in terms of prices, maybe in flights and so forth. So for me, it was a great geographical lesson.
Great. You know what? That is a big question many people have, is all the driving. And why isn't there a quick way to get to the Grand Canyon? It's because it's the Grand Canyon. It's 277 miles long, and it just takes time to get there. And most people will say it takes time to create it as well.
Hey, you know what? That's why it's not a canyon, but it's a Grand Canyon. Hey, great video. I'll see you on the next one, buddy. Take care.
Take care.